What's going on? Home of the Hustle Tuesday nights. I'm Eddie Martin. Let's play a little game of tag, hustle style. When you get in here, let me get some comments so I know that you're in here and we can get the show on the road. I think it might be tripping. We got one in here, two in here. Let me get a comment so I make sure this thing's working before we get rolling. I'm going to share this out to my page. What's up, Rosie? Stella, how are you? This is going to be fun. Okay, it's shared. All right, do me a favor, share this thing out, and then we're going to get down to business. So, I don't know if you guys know what this tag thing is, but basically what tag is I bring you on, you introduce yourself, I ask you a question. If you have a question, you can ask me a question, and then you're out, and the next one's in. If nobody wants to get on, then we'll do questions in the comments. When the other folks that are with the hustle hop in here, and we want to get in here together and answer some questions for you guys, then we can do that as well. So we got Rosie, Justin, Stella, Brad, and the Renegade in here. Let me get a comment. Who wants to get on first? Now keep in mind, when you come on, you need to have your phone turned sideways, not vertical, horizontal. When you go horizontal, then I'll add you in. And the baby beard guy is in here. All right. Anybody want in? If you don't want in, we can start answering questions. Or I can just bring the bearded guy in here and we can get started from there, kick it off right. Let's do that. Let's grab Frankie. The Titan's in here. Oh, here we go. Oh, they changed the setting. Bring Rob on camera. Let's do that. All right. Renegade Rob Martin is being invited in here.
What's up?
What's up?
Pretty cool, man. I like it. Tag you. See my tag? I tagged somebody earlier on your other video.
Hey, so for anybody who doesn't know nothing about the Renegade, let these people know who you are, what you do. And then we'll ask some questions, and then I'll tag you out and tag somebody else back in. The goal here is to add people in that are going to provide value to everybody that's watching. So if you are one of those people, comment in the comments that you want into, and I'll try to keep track of this. Who are you?
My name is Renegade Rob Martin. What's up? I do sales training. I'm specifically working in insurance right now, but I can do sales training for about any kind of door knockings, any kind of car sales, about anything, man. Sales is sales, you know, and we've talked about it a few times. I'm kind of into the psychology of the sales opposed to the normal stuff, but I sell insurance, got insurance agents that work with me, built an app, got an IT company, got all kinds of stuff, man. I'm one of those serial entrepreneurs until something just makes you millions.
And you and I, like in person, met at 10X Growth Con, right? That's where we first met. And we hit it off immediately.
Yeah, as I was telling people the other night, man, I mean, I don't really have a lot of questions for. I guess I could ask you a question about why you started the Break Free Go Live, but it's like I told you the other night, if it wasn't for that, you know, there's probably tons of people on it that do this right now that wouldn't be doing it if it hadn't been for what you did there. So I thought that was pretty awesome. You were solid on it too. No memes, no BS. If you got something to say, make sure you do it on a live video. And it was cool. It gave a lot of people confidence to do this stuff right now. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that just happened, right? It was an idea, and then it evolved, and then we committed, and then it just kind of took off from there. Where the effect that it had on people, the effect that it had on the network, and where people went with it was completely up to them. Me and anybody else that was involved with kind of helping keep everything on track had nothing to do with any of that. Let me ask you a question, okay? You asked this question to me last week on the live, and I read it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
how do you feel about using like self-deprecating humor to disarm a prospect?
I think the reason in that most people expect salespeople to be cocky, right? And I'm an avid Howard Stern fan. And I listen to, I've even told you, I said, look, even if you like him or hate him, go get the app for Sirius and go back and listen to, but you listen to all of his old interviews. And he's always not putting yourself down, but kind of being able to make fun of yourself. Number one, it disarms people, because if you go ahead and take a shot at yourself, it kind of shows that you're human. It shows that you have a little bit of that you're humble. And it kind of takes away power from people that want to attack you. And also it depends on the scenario, but by doing that, people tend to put their guard down, because when they see that you're humble, you're not some normal cocky sales guy, and you can make fun of yourself, or you can show your weaknesses to people, then they tend to put their guard down and open up to you, which, makes it possible for people to have relationships. I think there's so much ego going on out here. If you can't let go of your ego, you're never going to have any success in life. You may have a little bit for a little while, but it's going to crash and burn, because your ego gets to where to control you,
Absolutely. Well, I mean, if you can't laugh at yourself, everybody else is laughing at you. So walking into a sales scenario, you're already up against the wall, right? You're behind the 8 ball, or whatever cliche saying you want to say. So anything that you can use that can disarm the prospect and put them in a position where you can actually have a real conversation is what you want to do. And whatever you need to do to get there, then figure out something or some sort of strategy to do to get there. I was telling you on our Psychology of the Sell live the other day about a strategy that I used to use to get past the gatekeepers when I would knock on a door to business. Yeah. And I would walk in and I would say, hey, I'm kind of lost. Could you point me in the right direction?
Genius. Loved it.
And immediately this person who their job is to keep me out now is confused in their brain. They don't know if I'm there as a prospect. Am I a client? Am I an investor? Do I need directions? Am I lost? Like, who am I? Guy walks in looking like a businessman. And back in those days, I was hitting doors and I was in a suit. I had a tie on most of the time, trying to overcome being covered in tattoos and not really sure how to do that. So I had to use every weapon that I could possibly figure out to create common ground so that we could have a real conversation, and it would disarm people immediately. And I think that's the same thing with the self-deprecating humor. It just disarms them. It brings us back to just being people and having a real conversation where we can actually exchange true information to figure out if there's a need and if we can fill it. And if we can't, at least we walked away friends and we didn't walk away after.
Well, that's human nature. Is we all want to help somebody. And that's why I like what you did there so much, because number one, if it's a place of business, if it's the business owner, if you're trying to get through to somebody, their job, if you're a salesman, they're ready to shut you down because they're there working, and because I've not done a lot of business to business sales. And I've been wondering about the best strategy to use for that, because I try to think it out. I want to figure out how I would respond. And I'm thinking, well, if somebody bugs me while I'm working, I'm going to get frustrated. But if they come in and they ask for your help, that's you're there to help them with something anyway. That's your instinct of being there. They ask for directions. It doesn't matter. Your instincts to kick in and help. And I think that takes away that them ready to shut because you're the sales guy. So I think that, can you point me in, I'm kind of lost. Can you point me in the right direction? Well, I'm looking for so-and-so, but now they're already eager to help you. It's kind of like if somebody offers you something to drink and you're trying to sell them something, you should always take it, because it makes it like that they've contributed to what's going on there. And the key is to get people engaged and contributing to conversation and stuff, which I don't read a lot of books. I don't even know who it was that wrote this one, but he made a comment in there. He's like, when you go in, instead of asking people, instead of going in and talking about what you know and what you got and what you got to sell, why don't you go in and say, like in life insurance, for instance, what's the biggest problem that you see when it comes to buying life insurance, or what's the biggest obstacle you've seen when it comes to buying life insurance? Well, then what they do is they start, because everybody's got an issue. What's your biggest problem with cable TV? Everybody's got something they know that's bad to talk about. They can't wait to tell it. But also what they're doing is telling you what you have to do to sell them. So by engaging them and get them involved, same principle there. So that, and one-on-one, but in business, I was like, boom, and my light bulb moment went off right there. I was like, okay, now I understand what to do. Yeah, genius, like this.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of little tricks to that. When you're asking that question, I'm shaking my head yes the whole time. I'm shaking my head yes. It's crazy how easily you can get somebody to do the same thing as you when you're saying something that should be agreeable. Yeah, right? It's congruent with your sentence. It's congruent with your statement. So when you're shaking your head, they're going to follow suit. And it's very difficult to tell somebody no when you're shaking your head yes. Am I right?
Absolutely. Well, when I sold Kirby, I do that. I'd pull 400 dirt pads and I'd say, is it worth $2 a day to keep us out of your home? They say, yes. you know, by the time we got to the close, they didn't say yes like 400 times.
Yep. Yep.
Like, it just comes natural. No,
Absolutely. All right, Renegade. So, hey, I appreciate you jumping in here. You and I could go on for days, so I want to cut it off before we get
You're
going.
good. I'll bump it up and throw somebody else on later, buddy.
So if you guys don't know Rob Martin, that's Rob Martin. If you are in the insurance business, life insurance, final expense is kind of his forte. Get a hold of that dude. If you want to build a website, get a hold of that dude. Like, he's your guy for a lot of things, and just a general good dude that you should know. I'm glad that I know him. He's my boy. All right, I'm going to grab my other dude in here. Let me go find this. There we go. All right. You know, as much as this tag is beneficial for giving value and meeting some new people, it's really a testament to networking, right? So if Mike hops in here right now, Mike, you're being invited. If Mike hops in here right now, the way that him and I met is another situation from going out and networking and being in front of new people and meeting folks, nurturing a relationship, having it not just be about business all the time, right? People want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So why not get to know somebody, right? And he's got an epic beard. Look at his beard. He didn't have that beard when I met him. And then
No.
he saw some of that secret sauce that old Frank Sales got. And he's like, oh, it's time to grow back out. I'm jealous though, because look at that big, thick, you know, facial forest man rug you got going on there. And you just started doing that like 2 months ago?
Yeah, just about 2 months ago. About that, yeah. I'm trying to get this thing locked up. Hang on a second.
No worries. So I'll give you a little preview on Mike. Karakini. This is my dude right here. So Mike lives in Las Vegas, same as me. We met at an event called Amplify, right? We met at Amplify, didn't we?
Yep, we met at Amplified Live with Kitiaki.
Yep. So Mike is a professional networker, right? If you want to know how to get in a room and work a room and meet people, Mike is your guy. So Mike and I hit it off, and Frank, and we just started nurturing and developing that relationship further from there. But Mike is doing something else, or he's doing something right now that I think you guys should be aware of. I know that you guys should be aware of. So Mike, you kind of want to let them know a little bit about you and what you have going on, and then we'll ask a couple questions, and then I'll tag you out.
Sounds good. Very simply put, I facilitate a training that helps business owners, business professionals, salespeople increase their ability to create and keep rapport. You were just kind of talking about being able to do that with gatekeepers. This would be not just that, but when you walk in the room, Eddie, what's one of the first things you notice when you walk into a room full of people?
The first thing I notice when I walk into a room full of people is the vibe. That's the first thing I notice.
Ah, I'm so glad you went there. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. When you walk in and you notice the vibe, what's the thought that's running? What's the thought process that's running through your head?
Who's controlling the vibe and who is not vibing with the vibe?
Okay, right. So, sorry.
Oh, you froze up.
Yeah, I did because of a little phone thing. Somebody was trying to call me just now, which is kind of odd. Nobody calls this late in the day. I have to call them back. Why does that matter, Eddie?
Well, if you want to know where you fit into an environment, you need to figure out what that environment is first. That way you can try to affect the environment with what you have going on. If you don't know what's going on within that environment, then you're subject to whatever mystery that you don't really understand is actually happening right in front of you.
Under normal circumstances, that is exactly what we were all taught. One of the interesting things about what it is that we facilitate with regards to teaching business etiquette, it doesn't matter what the room's vibe is. the moment you walk into the room, the vibe should already be changing.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be changing not because of an overpowering type of energy that you bring to the room, but more so the kind of energy that comes in and just kind of fills the room. It's not overwhelming, but it's more than enough that people literally stop and start looking at you and going, okay, who's this? One of the things that happens when people understand what we teach is their presence of mind changes, and then their presence changes. So we teach a set of guidelines and philosophies. I say we because there's more than just myself. There are others that teach this too. We teach a set of guidelines and philosophies that allow people to understand how to move in and amongst different groups. Most people think that business etiquette has to do with social stuff. Social etiquette is meant for certain groups. Business etiquette is meant so that you can move in and amongst any group. Just like you said, you have to change your vibe to match the room. But in this case, it's not so much that you're changing your vibe, it's just you are the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And having the presence of mind to know that, it no longer matters what the vibe of the room is, who's in control. They can stay in control for all you care. That's not why you're there. When we walk into a room, we always think about serving others. And that's one of the things that you really become aware of, how you can do that long before you even step into the first circle to meet anyone. You almost know immediately what it is that you're going to be doing. These things are learned. They are not a set of rules. They are a set of, like I said, guidelines and philosophies. They teach you how to try to or how to avoid. This is not political correctness. This is sincere training, professional development. I've seen C-level people take this and all of a sudden their leadership skills increase by almost a factor of 10. I've seen frontliners take this and all of a sudden their productivity goes right through the roof. And it's the same set of guidelines and philosophies taught to both sides. It's just how they're applied and what they can do for anybody. I know that for guys like you, Eddie, you're going to have a lot of aha moments, and at the same time, you're going to go, now I know why I do that. Because we're taught how to do these things. We're taught sales. We're taught, we read all the books. We understand the psychology of humankind. Once you learn this stuff, all of a sudden it's like, I get it. Now I know why it works that way. Now I know why NLP is so awesome. Now I know why the process of selling works this way. And it's because these guidelines and philosophies just basically open up the windows to the mind to go, does that make sense?
Now I get it, right?
You're right, exactly.
That's the moment. Now I get it.
So we're going to be doing that. We're starting up classes again here shortly. This first one I'm actually going to be running as a beta. So it's not going to be the full-blown deal. It will be treated like the full-blown deal. For those who are interested in increasing their skill sets so that they can increase sales for their business, for their position, increase productivity in their company, increase their leadership abilities, this is the class for them. We're looking at starting around the second or third week of December. So it's kind of short, but I've got about 4 spots left. So I can only take about 8 people. It's really small. If anybody's interested, they can reach out to you, to me, and we'll have a conversation. We'll talk with them. We'll see if it's a fit.
Awesome. That's a tight, intimate group for this kind of beta launch of your training program. And obviously I'm in the training business, so you know where I stand on training.
I do, thankfully.
Right? You've been in the office, man.
Yes, I have.
So if you guys are going to be in Vegas or you're interested in what Mike has going on, reach out to me. I'll get you connected with Mike, or reach out to Mike directly. His name is here in the comments. It's Mike Kalakini. Just hit him up, and he will be happy to help you out. Hey, I appreciate you jumping in here, brother. I'm going to grab another one. Peace. All right, who's next? I got one. Bernie. Let's get Bernie in here. Hey, if you haven't shared this out, please share this out. I see the numbers going up, the numbers going down, the numbers are all over the place as far as who's in here. Let's get it shared out. Even if you already shared it, just go back and hide it from your timeline afterwards or whatever. It's all good. That's what I do.
share somebody's stuff out. I'm like, oh man, I don't want my timeline full of everybody else's stuff. Like I want my own stuff on there, right? Facebook's like a place that people go to figure out who you are. And if I go to your Facebook and all I see is shared stuff from other people, well, I mean, I don't really know nothing about you other than you support a lot of people. So share stuff out, but then go back later and hide it from your timeline so that you're still supporting your network while still maintaining the integrity of what your page is there for. What's up, Burn?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm getting ready to celebrate our birthdays in a week or so?
It isn't a week or so. Bernie and I are twins, if you can't tell.
I know. It's that beard. It's that beard.
It is the beard, dude. We just were born in different, generations.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I think
Probably not too far.
What's that?
Probably not too far. How old are you?
I will be 47.
Yeah. I'll be a decade on me.
That's not so bad. I still remember Pong and Atari and all that good stuff. So.
Dude, I did too. I was just a little one when that stuff was coming out. Duck Hunt was like my stuff. Like right when Duck Hunt came out, the NES came out, that was where it was at.
Oh, I got to see the evolution from Pong to Atari to on television, Nintendo, and now it's just they got these commercials on TV which looks just like movie trailers, which is a far, 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 far away from Pac-Man.
Right? I just got a text message from Rob Martin saying my screen is black.
Well,
can you guys see me?
I see you now that I'm tagged in with you. Before it was all black for like the last 5 minutes.
Really?
It was
just on my side?
It was just on your side. Your prior guest was fine. All your guests were fine. When you tagged in the prior guest, you went to black. Saw your guest fine. A few people corroborated, said that they saw you in black as well. But right now that I'm tagged in, I see you. So I don't know if technically that means something different or not.
It is. Look, it's funny. I'm looking on my tablet. That's what you guys are seeing right now.
Oh, wow. It's wild. I actually
crazy?
see you. I see you as I'm tagged in.
Well, either way, it's good. They can see your pretty face.
Oh, yeah. Remember, this is East Coast time, buddy.
Right? So tell the folks a little bit about what you have going on, the Daily Burn, what you got going on tomorrow. Let's get some attention around what you're doing because you're a good dude, and I want to support you with everything that you have going on.
Sure. Real quick, basically the Daily Burn is a 2-minute little synopsis of things that I share out for value, focusing on what my business is about, giving value for leadership, management, and or media. And the Daily Burn live show is just another growing part out from that, to get good guests on that I know in my past, to bring them on to share their advice, and just like yourself, we'll have on soon, and just to get the value out there to people, because I think that's the best thing possible. I mean, have 20 something years in the news industry and building networks and leading teams and all that, and the more stuff I can give out to people, I think the better it'll be. So that's the basis of that. Now tomorrow's Daily Burn, probably around 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Very basic thing. It's all about what are you grateful for? And it's kind of like what you're doing now, Tag. And it's real laid back. What are you grateful for, in and out? And the thought came to me because I was in Pennsylvania, New Hope, and they had this thing called What Are You Grateful Wall. And it was this huge wall with Post-its all over it. And people were just putting on Post-its what they were grateful for. And I go, wow, that's so cool. There must have been thousands of thousands, right? I'm thinking, what a great idea for a show for Thanksgiving. What are you grateful for? So that'll be at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow in Daily Burn. And then, we'll get some serious shows after that. But that's what it's about.
Sure. That's awesome, dude. I've seen that on your Facebook stories, that wall.
Yeah.
That was really, really cool. So you have a background in media, right? Like TV background?
Yeah, I basically 22 years. I was there from 93, 94, MSNBC, CNBC, Fox News. I was actually the guy who started and founded Fox News Channel in 96 and did about 20 years with them.
Wow.
Producing, senior managing, finished up my career the last 10 years. I helped build Fox News Radio as well. It was within that same realm. And it was pretty wild. I mean, I've produced 3,500 hours of live television, helped build 2 networks up, generated over $100 million in profits, helped build a $1 billion company. It was pretty cool. You know, it was a pretty wild ride. Anything that happened in the news industry. So now I get to take that information into my entrepreneurial business, and it's just about helping businesses, you know, develop high performance leadership teams, how to solve their problems of employee morale, leadership, and performance. Because truly, if you have a high performance leadership team, that's the engine of your company. And if you can solve all those problems, you're going to maximize performance, productivity, and profits. I mean, that's generally what it comes down to. And on the media side, I mentor executives and politicians how to dominate in all types of media situations, whether it's interviews or controlling the message or controlling conversation and all that. So it's pretty wild. It's fun to take all this information and help you know, help people. Because when I came out of the news industry, I decided I didn't want to get back into it. And you know, you and I have to sit down with a bottle of scotch and talk about that one day. And there's some stories. Oh boy, do I got stories for you. But the truth of the matter is, real quick, was I just came up with a mission statement, which was real simple. That the second half of my career, I just want to use all my experiences in life and business to help others. And that's truthfully where I'm at. So whatever I can do for people, it's all value based, you know? So, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hmm. Yep. Yep. Sure. Hmm. 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 Well, it's absolutely true. Um, you posted something yesterday. What did you say? You said something about being real with people, wanting to have other people do better than you, uh, right? And it's the same thing with networking. You know, I always say that people I partner with or help, I want them to be better than me. I want everyone to be better than me. You know, I don't want to be better than you. What's the point of helping people if I can't help you become better than me? It makes no sense. It's the same thing applies with networking. I've seen so many people, this through social media, where if I don't buy their product or anything beyond that, they'll unfriend you or they'll jump out. They won't talk to you no more. They don't want to have anything to do with you. And I find that fascinating because that's not what networking is. Networking is trying to get like-minded people to know their tribe, to share value and grow from there. Let it become generic. And if it's generic, people will seek you out for advice. People seek you out for services. But if you're pushing your agenda all the time, I mean, it's ridiculous. So, you know, when I talked to you and we talked about your VT program, and Lightspeed, you know, it's an amazing program. But I was upfront with you. I said, you know, Eddie, I don't know if I have the money for it right now. You know, I'm just not ready where I'm trying to build out my career. But you were still like, hey, look, this is what it's about, and gave me the understanding of what to do with it or how we can go forward in the future. And we still stay connected. Mm-hmm. So, and look at how many people we meet. And then I pass your information along to other people, and a couple of people I pass along your way, whether it worked out or not. That's about networking, you know. And if you come with the mindset that I want to meet people of like-minded and share value, you're going to get 10 times back. That whole 10x thing, which is very true. If you are just trying to make a sale, it's just people will sniff that out right away. It's not going to work.
Yep. Hey, so apparently my audio and my video is gone.
Oh, wow.
So tell everybody that I'm going to cut this live off and boot it back up again and to hop back in.
All right, hold on. Hey, everybody. I just talked to Eddie. I can hear Eddie. Apparently he's saying nobody can. Going dark in 1.